pretty excited about this topic because it's unique to any other one we've ever done. It's not basketball related per se. It's not X and O type stuff. We're not talking coaching philosophies like we have in the past, but I think it's as beneficial as those to you coaches who are interested in being here. We got 3 different speakers from 3 different places that are all going to speak for 2 or 3 minutes apiece. And what they're talking on is what they're anticipating that COVID's going to do for them, how they're handling things with their program right now, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to go Coach Combs first. This is Scott Combs from Morehead State. He is in Kentucky. Let's get started with you, Coach Combs. Can you set the tone of today's roundtable with just 2 or 3 minutes of your thoughts on how you guys are doing things over there at Morehead State?
Well, you got it. Thanks, Richie. What's up, guys? Just the perspective from a college mid-major located in Kentucky, on the eastern side of Kentucky, too, and in a small town of Morehead. Just to give you a background, we're 45 minutes from Lexington. We're 2 hours from Cincinnati, 2 hours from Louisville. So we are kind of in the cut. And I think the governor of Kentucky, he got out early. And things have been relatively slow, but they've been relatively safe. And from a work environment standpoint, we're looking right now to bring our guys in on the 20th. Now, when you look at the big scope of things, we're all seeing different colleges that do things differently with different sports. And even within our own league, Ohio Valley Conference, we've just got different dates and different outlooks. With us not having to bring anybody back, we're paying attention to what everybody's doing inside our conference. From what I know right now, and things could change, as you guys know, on a dime. So by the time I end up talking, we'll see a tweet or an announcement. But Tennessee State, located in Nashville, is not going to bring their guys and gals back till when school starts. Eastern Kentucky, right up the road, brought their kids, a few of them, back in June. Austin B did the same thing in June, and they've already had to send some of their teams home. We've had a Zoom call with our guys once a week, with the exception of the July 4th, gave it off. And we've talked with our parents once a month, and we had that call yesterday. So we're trying to keep them up to speed, get the guys here on the 20th. We're going to hopefully keep them here until school starts. And then, if things go as planned, we would release them when school, finishes up right after Thanksgiving, and continue a couple more games. The thing that's taking shape right now is you're seeing what's going on with football. We're paying attention to that too. We have to bring in around, $300,000 guaranteed money. So we're playing Ohio State, Xavier, Butler. Are we going to get to play those games? We don't know. We're taking a look at the basketball tournament being played. We're taking a look at the NBA and trying to put some protocol in. Major League Baseball, they all have some higher finances. I think a concern right now is high major schools may have a little bit more of a resource, but at the end of the day, I think we're going to do the best we can to keep up. And we're all there's just so much unknown. I know I've hopped around a lot, but that's a little bit of what's going on here at Morehead State. I look forward to hearing the other guys talk in the small rooms to see what's going on. I've got a daughter going into the 6th grade. Curious to what's going on with, just the start of schools all over the country. So thanks again, guys. I look forward to taking some questions and hearing what else is going on out there.
Well, that's a good perspective. You're in Kentucky, so you're kind of in the middle of the country towards the south. Let's go over to Coach Eric Perry, who's at Cal Poly. He's the Director of Basketball Operations there, and obviously one of our moderators, been great to us here at PhD Hoops. You guys already kind of got the ball rolling over there under some safety protocols. So can you tell us some more, Coach Perry?
Yes. Morning, fellas. So San Luis Obispo, if you don't know, it's 3 hours from LA south, and then 3 hours north of San Francisco. So literally right in the middle. What we've done so far is we're doing everything in phases. So with our strength and conditioning coach and our trainer, we're on phase 2. So phase 2 is we have about 5 or 6 guys who live within the area, and every day they go up to the gym, they have to get a temperature check. They also then, if you have no symptoms, they'll put a wristband on you. That a wristband will allow you to work out outside on our sand courts. And so you'll work out in groups of 2 to 4, depending on who you live with in your apartment. And then from there, when you're done, you can go on the court. Now, how the court works is you can use a shooting gun or you can use your partner, and it's 2 people per court. And that's what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. weeks. If we have no symptoms, no nothing for at least 4 weeks, we move on to the next phase, which will be, I think, the same thing Coach Combs is doing. We're trying to have all of our kids back by July 20th, but we won't start practice until July 27th. And so from there, if we have, again, no cases within those 7 days when guys get back, we'll go July 27th with our practices as normal. But as Coach Combs said, if we have any type of spikes, other sports might even mess us up. Let's say wrestling comes back and their kids catch it. Now that shuts all of us down. So we really have to be very cautious on what our kids are doing. We also make them write a log. So if you just flew in from Kentucky because you live there, who have you been around? How many people have you been around? We have to have a very detailed log of everything you've been doing. So just in case something does slip up, we can go ahead and quarantine you for 2 weeks without having everything shut down. Those are just some of the steps that we've taken in order to move quicker than others. I know in our league, for instance, whether it's Fullerton or Riverside, they have a huge spike in cases, so that they might not be on the same path we are as far as getting on the court. Where I live, we only have about 110 cases. So we're a very small community with not a lot of cases. So we're lucky to be able to start earlier than others.
Thanks, Coach Perry. That's good. It's interesting how people do things in different sides of the country. So let's move over to the man, the myth, the legend, Reggie Anderson, who is here for every single roundtable that we have. He's at Holy Innocents Episcopal School, the JV head coach there in Georgia. Your perspective is going to be different than the other two because you're coaching high school ball. So it's a little bit of a different perspective, and you're in the school system rather than the college system. So things could be a little bit different there. Being in Georgia, you are in one of the epicenters of the virus. So very interesting how you guys are anticipating things to go down there. And while you're at it, if you have any embarrassing stories on Coach Cabral Huff, now's your time.
Thank you, Richie, for giving me this opportunity to speak. I have to share that in the overtime section with about and everything. Who's my boss? So, but here we started this week. We just brought in our kids this week. We actually had a little youth camp that we did in the mornings for 3 hours. We did temperature checks in the car, and once they cleared that, they came in. They were wearing their mask and bringing their own water, and that seemed to go pretty good this week. We didn't really get any pushback from parents or anything about it because I had a younger group and we made them wear the mask all the time, even on the court. Also, we brought in our varsity and JV players, and they did temperature checks as well. And they wore their mask when they were in the 1 hour weight room with our strength and conditioning coach. They had to wear their mask all the time, wipe down all the equipment when they used it after they were done with it. And once they went to the court, they didn't have to wear their mask. But we did a lot of drills and everything where we had 2 or 3 to a basket, and mostly spacing type drills where they were spaced out and everything. And so far it's been going pretty good. Like Coach Perry, our AD is looking at all of the sports, and if we have a problem with one sport, we probably all gonna get shut down. So everybody's being very cautious about making sure we do proper protocol. So far as what the horizon looks like for high school basketball, we're just hearing the rumors that we may be pushed back to December, where we have like Christmas tournaments and stuff as our tip-off, and we'll just play region games in January and then have the playoffs after that. Middle school sports has been canceled for a lot of schools in the area for the year. So that's something that just happened like 2 days ago. They canceled all middle school sports in a couple of areas here. So that is, going to also have a big effect. One other aspect we are looking at now and working with our seniors is the high school recruiting. They had no full-blown AAU season as normal. So now the question becomes what happens about, certain players and everything that have a limited season. We have like one of our players that is actually a Power 5 high major that they've been talking to, but he's only got like 10 mid-major offers. So, you know, where does he get the opportunity, you know, to garner those offers from those high majors? And likewise, we have, you know, a mid-major player that doesn't have any offers and concerned about, you know, where we have a chance to increase his stock, if you will. So it's just those type of things. And does the high major kid, you know, just settle on one of those mid-major offers because, you know, the high major may never come. So those are the conversations we're having with our players. And lastly, we're working overtime on communicating with all of our players concerning their mental health during this quarantine. You know, to avoid the social interaction. That's a big thing. We brought our guys in this week. You could tell a lot of them were just happy to see each other and just, you know, happy to see us outside of a Zoom call. So, you know, so we have to be very cognizant of the mental health. You know, all of the coaches are in contact with them on pretty much a daily basis, but it's just something about the person-to-person interaction that, you know, goes missing, especially for high school players, you know. So that's, you know, what we're doing here and, you know, everything I have on that. And once again, like I said, thank you again, Richie, for this opportunity. And our motto from here has been, you know, if we stay ready, we don't have to get ready for whatever happens.